Here comes Mr. Lee. Here comes Mr. Lee. Here comes Mr. Lee.
Te amo, Señor Lee.
Here comes Mr. Lee. Here comes Mr. Lee. Here comes Mr. Lee.
What is up, everybody? This is Chris Lee. You are listening to the On Tour with Chris Lee podcast. And hello, YouTube. There's a video rolling right now of me doing this podcast. It's the most absurd thing I can imagine because I like to kind of do things where I edit and I back this track down and no, this track is just going to keep on playing. I just got to wait for it because I can't move over here and turn the track down. Anyway, so here I am. I'm doing, this is my first On Tour with Chris Lee podcast with video. And this whole concept is crazy to me because nobody wants to see this. I don't know if anybody wants to hear this, but definitely nobody wants to see this. But I was told by a good friend of mine, oh, that volume is way too loud, Chris. You big mouth. You're peeking the video out. It's very unappealing to the ears when you speak that loud. I had a good friend of mine, Steve, that hosts the Party Foul Nation podcast. And Steve is an awesome, awesome dude. He has a great podcast, but he started doing this on YouTube. So that's reason number one. Reason number two for me bringing this to YouTube, to the Chris Gainz channel, is I've been doing this for a couple years now, the whole 10 episodes that I've done up to this point. But I've been doing it on SoundCloud. That's been my host. And SoundCloud is great, but there comes a point where if you put enough material on there, eventually they have to start charging you money. And that's where I am right now. So I have the option where I can continue to use SoundCloud, which I probably will. But when I do that, I have to delete. Hold on. Dadgummit. Shut up. Shut up. That's later. That's later in the show. Damn it. I'm flying by the seat of my pants on this episode, so this is going to take some getting used to for me. Anyway, SoundCloud has to eventually start charging you money. You know, you use up enough of their storage space and their cloud and their servers and everything. They have to start charging you money, and that's understandable. But in doing that, I have to cancel or I have to delete an old episode to make room for a new episode for the podcast. And I deleted the first one, and it kind of broke my heart a little bit. It wasn't a great episode. You know, I was crappy recording. I think I interviewed Todd, our guitar player, on there. Tried to make him feel really uncomfortable, and that's impossible to do with Todd, by the way. He's never uncomfortable. His whole life, he just lounges and is comfortable. He might as well just be permanently up on the stage in a leisure suit in a leisure chair. Anyway, so I didn't want to do that with the second episode. I'm not ready to do that yet because I love those first couple of episodes. It's just it's like a little photo album almost, an audio album where I go back and I see where we were in the tour at the time. And I'm not ready to delete those yet. So I'm bringing the show to YouTube. I still don't understand the concept of a podcast, which is also visual. So hello out there. Thank you guys for listening to me. Thank you. If you found this through the Chris Gainz channel, I really appreciate it. I love doing the Chris Gainz vlog, but there's a special place in my heart for the comedy and the antics and all the fun little stuff that we do on the On Tour with Chris Lee podcast. So I'm really, really just excited to be back doing this again. So I want to tell you about, we're back in tour season right now. We had a good time off, played the last show December 22nd, and then we played one show the first week of January with Kane Brown and Staples Center, and then we played Mexico for a couple of shows, doing the Luke Bryan Crash My Playa tour at the end of January. Now we are back in full steam, back on tour, and we're doing just a couple of weekends here where we're doing 2 or 3 shows, and then we come back because they're close to home. And then we're going to head back out and really hit it hard. So this past weekend, we were in... oh, my neighbor's leaving. I don't think he works. My neighbor, I don't know if you can see outside here. My neighbor spends most of his time just at home in his car. You know, he probably thinks I don't work either. Matter of fact, because I'm here a lot when we're not touring. But anyway, this past weekend we played a college in Davenport, Iowa. And before that, the night before, we played St. Louis, Missouri, which was really, really cool. Both shows were really cool. The St. Louis, Missouri show was a 21 and up. Anybody, especially Granger, will tell you we much prefer to do the all ages shows. It's just different. You know, I like I've played in drunk. Shut up! This is a track I'm going to play for you guys here. A small portion of a track I'm going to play for y'all later. But it keeps surfacing right now. It wants to play it for you now, and I'm not ready. I'm not ready to play this song for you yet. So I'm trying to record, you stupid idiot. Let me record the damn podcast. Anyway, we played St. Louis this past weekend. That was a Friday night. Really cool 21 and up show. So you get like the 21 and up shows, you get the drinkers. These people, they do nothing but drink. And I'm not saying everybody, because we get some of our best fans that come to those shows as well. But man, you look out in the crowd and you see just a glazed over look in a lot of these people's eyes. They've been there for hours. Maybe they did the meet and greet at 7:00 and they've been standing there at the front row the entire time, slamming tall boy Busch Lights or regular Busch beers. But it's just a different type of crowd. I much prefer, I like the all ages. As a young kid growing up as a music fan, I love seeing that twinkle in the little kids' eyes when they're at their first concert. You know, they see Earl Dibbles Jr. for the first time. Because all the kids love Earl, of course. But a really, really neat thing about the St. Louis thing, or what was neat at the time, was Post Malone, ever heard of him, was playing across town, right? And so that was kind of exciting. I'm a big Post Malone fan. He's a fellow Texan. He's just got a really interesting, unique sound. And yes, I don't just listen to country music. Sue me. No, don't sue me. I don't have anything to give you. I have 4 kids and a wife that shops for shoes a lot. But anyway, Post Malone was playing across town, and he's sponsored by Budweiser or Bud Light. The complex we were playing was attached to Busch Stadium. So they were having a Post Malone after party after his show, which happened to be in the nightclub upstairs. So we were really, really excited. Like, oh my gosh, man, Post Malone's going to stop by. And the venue hooked it up and everything, where we were able to go up and hang out in this club. And we thought it was going to be really, really cool. Well, before we went to the after party, there was a country bar that's also attached to all this stuff called PBR. And my venue rep hooked us up with bottle service, which is free, which is crazy. Well, we did tip the waitresses something, but they hooked us up with this bottle service. And so we're all sitting around here on this couch, and I look around and it's just all guys. It's a sausage fest, for lack of a better term. But it was so we're all sitting around, and I'm like, man, can you guys, and I'm not, I'm a married guy, happily married, but it just looks weird when there's a bunch of dudes just hanging out on the couch and everything. It's like, this is what we're doing after the show. This is, we have a reputation here, and we have this perception of the Granger Smith guys, man. After the show, they party hard, they go hard as hell. But it was just a bunch of dudes sitting around on a couch, and it was kind of depressing. So I tried to get T-Money, Tyler, Granger's brother and manager. Hey man, you're a Hollywood playboy. Go get us bring some girls in here or something. I didn't want the girls personally for myself. I just thought it was a bad look for the reputation of our rock star team to just be a bunch of dudes, 30, 40-year-old dudes, just hanging around on a couch in this nightclub. Anyway, that failed. We did not get any girls in there, or they didn't get any girls in there. I didn't try. Believe me, if I had tried, there would have been girls all over that couch, and I would be living out on that street right now. So that didn't happen. So we got free bottles of liquor, which was always cool. And as a band, you should never have to pay for your bottles of liquor. That should just be a rule. But anyway, we ended up making our way over to this after show party, and we took the bottles with us because it was a perfectly good bottle of tequila reposado and a perfectly good bottle of Jack Daniels. We didn't just want to leave them there. So we took these bottles with us, and by this time, man, we were getting pretty saucy. And I'd already closed out for the night. My job was done. I was done being a tour manager. I was just there to be Chris Gainz, attending an after show party for Post Malone. I wanted to hear Wow. I wanted to hear him sing Goodbye, Sunflower, all that good stuff, all the hits. So we're waiting. We take these bottles of liquors. They just let us walk through the nightclub. And I got to tell you, I've had some pretty neat little rock star experiences in my life, but I don't think I've ever physically walked through a nightclub with a full bottle or a half full bottle of Jack Daniels and not been stopped by the security or anything. It was really, really cool. But Post Malone never showed up. His opener did. And I'd never heard of this guy before. No disrespect to him. I just don't know who he is. But he showed up and, got up on the stage and screamed at people and everything. And I guess people thought that was pretty cool. But anyway, we didn't get to meet Post Malone, and that's okay. So I'm at home today for a few days. I just got back from the gym. I don't know if you can... I guess the cool thing about the video is you could see if I got a pump going on there, maybe a little bit. I don't want to turn this into a Chris Gainz episode, but I made the mistake. I never go anywhere without my phone because that phone is it is my livelihood. I do everything on that phone. I record songs into it. I conduct business, tour manager business. I film on the phone. That's what I'm using right here is the phone. Always keep it close by. But I didn't take it to the gym with me today, and I thought it would be all well and good and everything, but I needed that phone today. I needed the music pumped into my ears. And my first thought was, well, this will be kind of a neat little challenge, because I always think it's good to disconnect sometimes. Take yourself away from social media, all the distractions, and just focus on life, focus on family or work or whatever it is that you need to be centering your focus on. So in that case, for me, it was focusing on the workout this morning. Well, they play the most god-awful music in this gym, and it is an Anytime Fitness and everything, but it's 8 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday, so you have every Karen across Belton, Texas in this gym today, and God bless them. They're trying to look good for their man. I'm all about it. Good for y'all. It's great and everything, but it was poor. It was impossible to focus. I could not focus because I'm hearing Karen conversations, right? Bitching about the damn Super Bowl, the halftime show at the Super Bowl, which was completely ridiculous. It was a great, great halftime show. Music-wise, I thought it was okay. Visually, I thought it was stunning. I thought these ladies were wonderful. They should be applauded. They're great. My gosh, I hope my wife looks that great at 51 years of age, just like J-Lo. She probably will. She doesn't age at all. And it's not from lack of stress. I assure you that. Damn kids. are stressful. I love them though. Anyway, so tough to concentrate in that gym, man. You have the cackling hens, the Karens going back and forth and everything, and then the music choice. So at Anytime Fitness, you have this app on your phone, and it's like a jukebox. You can request songs, it gets queued up, and when it's your turn, your song comes up. So that was going on, and just the most ridiculous songs were coming up, all these 80s love ballads and everything. And at one point, I'm working buys today, and mid-curl, and I like the song, but the George Michael, the Wham! This Christmas comes on. This Christmas, I gave you my heart, and the very next day, you gave it away. So I'm trying to do curls when this stupid song is playing, and I can't concentrate. I'm sorry. I'm easily distracted as it is. And it was not a good day at the gym this morning. But, again, I'm not going to turn this into a Chris Gainz episode. You guys get inundated with that stuff on the normal YouTube program. But I do want to share with y'all something very, very exciting that's coming up. And I promise on next episode, I'll bring back Felix Grundy, all that good stuff. But I want to share with you something I've been working on. I'm just going to share a snippet of it, but I have a new song that I'm putting out, and those that have known me my entire life know I love making songs. I love making music. That was my first love. That was my first passion. That's what got me into this music. I got into this music because Granger and I played in bands together for years, and I wasn't good enough to make it in the big time like he has, Mr. Big Shot. But that's okay. I enjoy playing the laptop. I think I'm much better at that than any other instrument. So I created a little song, and I'm going to share just a snippet with you. I plan on putting the song out in the next week or two. I'm going to put a music video to go with it for Father's Day. It is a thank you song for dads. And I owe a lot to mine, and I owe nothing greater than the gift of life, which he gave me. So I just want to play just a little snippet of this song for you. And you guys comment below. Tell me what you think, or tell me if I need to throw it in the trash. My feelings won't be hurt, I promise you. Much.
The greatest gift you gave to me wasn't baseball cards or shoes. I'm gonna tell you right now, Dad, because it's long overdue. Just wanna thank you, Dad, for hooking up with Mama. Thank you, Dad. You could have used a condom, but you didn't, Dad. I think that.
So there you go. There's much more to the song, but gosh, I get emotional just hearing it. The part about you could have used a condom. It really hits home as someone that obviously doesn't use a condom, because I have 4 freeloaders running around this house. Anyway, so yeah, that song is coming up. I hope you guys enjoy it. And I have a lot of fun making these silly songs. My feeling is, yes, I waste time on making silly songs, and maybe I should be writing about something serious or creating serious songs. But hey, man, I've made a small living writing Earl Dibbles Jr. songs, and that's okay. I think maybe my responsibility here in this life on the creative side of the entertainment business is to make people smile. And I've said this before, but you know what? Somebody out there needs that smile. And I don't know who it is, but if I can make someone smile that really, really needs it, then I feel like my job is done. Gosh, what a freaking lame thing for me to say. Anyway, well, this is going to do it for the episode 11 of the On Tour with Chris Lee podcast. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for watching on the video. I'm sorry you have to look at this, but I appreciate it. I'm going to try to put out a video every week. I make no promises, but I'm going to try my hardest to do an On Tour with Chris Lee podcast once a week. I also have the Purple House thing going on with Allison. That is a political humor YouTube channel. If you haven't watched it, even if you're not a political person, it's really, really funny. The premise behind that basically is Allison and I, opposite ends of the spectrum, but we're married. She is hardcore liberal. I'm pretty hardcore conservative, but we make it work. So anyway, thank you guys again for listening to the On Tour with Chris Lee podcast. Drop me a comment below. Ask me any questions you want. Don't ask any questions you want. It doesn't matter. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.
Here comes Mr. Lee. Here comes Mr. Lee. Here comes Mr. Lee.
Te amo, Señor Lee.
Here comes Mr. Lee. Here comes Mr. Lee. Here comes Mr. Lee.